Now, this video is going to make some people upset because, I'm talking about drugs and drug usage. But I seen a story with Burner Boy where he turned down performing in Dubai. He turned down $5 million, a performance for $5 million because they wasn't going to allow him to smoke weed, and he turned it down. Now, when you think about the amount of money, 5 million, what $5 million can do, $5 million can do a lot of things. Now, when you think about it, you could probably build a small town with $5 million. And so a lot of people were like, man, you could have just went in there, performed, and then flew out. You necessarily didn't have to stay overnight or none of that. You're just doing one performance. And so $5 million is a large sum of money to turn down because you can't have your drugs. Now, this speaks to a bigger issue, but I'm just using Burner Boy as an example because addiction crosses all races and all lines. You know what I mean? When it comes to addiction, that's something that all races have in common. And in this case, the drug of choice is weed. Now, this is what black people love, to blow trees and get high and feel as though it's not a big deal. It's not addictive. It's not something they hooked on. Even though you got to wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is you got to get high in the morning. As soon as you wake up, before you go to sleep, same thing. A lot of y'all won't even eat, can't eat, don't have an appetite because your whole body is dependent on getting high first before you can even eat. But you're not addicted. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a perfectly non-addictive, functioning human being, right? But this is the thing. It just goes to show you how strong an addiction can be and how strong, the addiction of smoking weed is. He turned down $5 million. Some of us will never make $5 million in our whole life. I would say a good portion of the population, most of the population, will never see that. We don't like to admit that we could be hooked on something. We don't want to look like we are addicted to anything. But like myself and many of y'all know that you can be addicted to weed. You can't be one of those people that are in support of the black community growing, prospering, getting, reparations or, just being great. And you do drugs and you sell drugs. They don't mix. They actually contradict themselves. Because if you're talking about the black community being better, then drugs got to be out of the picture. I'm sorry to tell y'all. Drugs can't be a part of a functioning, great, normal, successful black society. It can't. Drugs have never black people have never benefited from doing drugs, from abusing drugs. We've never benefited from that. Most black people do drugs because of dysfunction that they suffered in their own household as a child. As a child, you don't think that you want to grow up and be a junkie. You don't think that way. But drugs have been proven to numb trauma, to numb thoughts, depression, and all of those things. So who's the people that are more likely to be on drugs? It's the people that are depressed, the people that are broken, that are stressed out. Those are the people that's going to be on drugs. The people that have grown up seeing their parents on drugs, the people that have grown up, or as a child been, abused, molested. Those are the people that's going to be on drugs. The people that have psychological traumas that's been passed down from generation to generation. Those are the people that's going to be on drugs. And those are the people that ain't going to want to let it go or say that they are not addicted because it's just a simple drug. Now, there was a study. This was I believe it was around 2013, somewhere around that. We can fact check. But this study came out and said basically that people get hooked on marijuana at a higher rate than cocaine, than heroin, and I believe fentanyl. People get hooked faster. Now you think about these hard drugs, and it's kind of hard to wrap your head around and believe it, but that's what the study said. That was the conclusion of the study, that people get hooked on marijuana faster than these hard drugs. So technically, if you do marijuana or whatever, and you gotta get high before you eat. You can't go to sleep without being high. As soon as you wake up, you gotta get high. You waiting around for the weed man to come home. You go knock on his girlfriend's house. You're doing all of this extra stuff to get high. Technically, you're like a dope head. You're a crackhead, right? And I know some of y'all like, damn, the wall, you taking it a little too far. But nah, that's the truth. It's the truth. It's a reality that we don't want to see. We don't want to admit to that. You know what I mean? We'd rather act like it ain't nothing when you're addicted. And so you can't be a person that is addicted to any drug or selling drugs and say that you for black people, you love black people, you want to see us rise, and you this and you that, and you pro excellence and you pro black and all that. You can't be that. Why? Because historically, let's think about it and let's be real. Historically, drugs have been used to destroy the black community. The government put drugs in the black community to destroy the black family, to destroy black groups. COINTELPRO. Y'all got to go read up on it. COINTELPRO. They put crack cocaine in our communities. They did that. So drugs have traditionally or historically been used to destroy us, and they have done it to a certain extent. So if you're going to think that you can sell drugs and, do this, like, think about selling drugs. You selling drugs to your community and you're hurting somebody's family. There's a child that drug hit, that person that's on drugs, they probably didn't buy some food that night. Some people won't even pay their rent sometimes. We all know this happens. You know what I mean? So you giving lip service, you saying how much you love black people, you down for the cause and all that with your lips and with your mouth. Yeah, I'm for this. Yeah, I'm for that. Yeah, I'm for this. But then you selling drugs to black people. And you hurting somebody's family, which in turn is hurting the community and creating more dysfunction in our community. You're a hypocrite. You fake and you phony, and you're not really about that. But I'm going to get off of it. Let me know what y'all think about what I just said. First of all, about us being addicted. Second of all, about you being us, like black people trying to be so pro excellence and support the black community, but they do drugs or their own drugs. Give me your thoughts and your opinions. And with that, you already know what it is. This is Black Authentic Truth.